If she's not a virgin, she shouldn't even ask for a dowry. As soon as this statement came out, girls in Luoyang were instantly triggered, saying that if you're not a virgin, you don't deserve a dowry. Once this news spread, girls went crazy counterattacking in the comments. Like in many big cities, they require a premarital health check, or the marriage won't happen. Traditional marriage. It's all about the grand sedan chair, a formal and proper wedding, valuing a pure body. Otherwise, what's the point? If she's not a virgin, why should there be a dowry? Do you think this is reasonable?
In this clip, a woman declares non-virgins don't deserve dowries, sparking fury among women who cling to traditional cash gifts. Men, you've seen this shameless double standard. Women demand your money for old-school rituals while dodging any accountability. Why bankroll a scam that judges you by your wallet but gives her a free pass? Think that's outrageous? The next clip's a shocking plot.
Should women in their 30s consider being a mistress? I was born in '92, single for 3 years. About to hit 40 soon. Almost losing my fertility. Many friends suggest I try being a mistress. In my fertile years. Borrow someone else's husband. To have a child of my own. Alright, just kidding. Many think women in their 30s who aren't married must be desperate to wed. A lot of guys also worry that if they date women like us, we'll cling to them, constantly pushing for marriage. But honestly, you're overthinking it. The age when we most wanted to marry was 28 or 29. At our age now, it's like being late for school as a kid, running to class. But when the bell rings, you relax, stop running, and just accept it. We older single women are like that. Marriage is no longer our plan B. If the right person comes along, of course, we'd still be willing to tie the knot. If not, we've already made peace with ourselves. On countless sleepless nights, preparing to live life independently. So, friends, if I don't get married, how much pension do I need to prepare? If it's too much, dear older brothers, please guard your retirement funds. Your little sister might want to borrow some.
In this clip, a 32-year-old woman jokes about being a mistress to borrow a man for a kid, then claims older single women are past wanting marriage. Men, don't fall for this. I'm fine. Act. They're desperate but too arrogant to admit it, ready to mooch off your stability. Why be their backup plan when they've already checked out? Ready for a brutal smackdown? The next video's got no mercy.
Older single women now are as miserable as the housing market in Jiaxing. High price, no buyers. I know a young lady, a local only child in Jiaxing. 34 years old this year. Great figure. Decent family background. Her family has prepared a house and a car. She wants to find a similar match. A local only child in Jiaxing. But a Jiaxing guy with those conditions. How could he still be single in his mid-30s? She says she's already lowered her standards a lot, thinking she's good enough now. No, sister. Your situation is exactly like the housing market. Many houses have had their prices slashed in half. And they still can't sell. Those who could afford it bought long ago. Those who can't, even if a 3 million yuan house is cut in half, they still can't afford it.
In this clip, a woman explains why older single women don't date younger men, admitting they can't afford to spoil them and expect pampering instead. Men, you've seen these entitled dreamers, wanting a hot young guy but bringing only demands and no cash. Why chase someone who thinks you're a free ticket with a pretty face? Brace yourself, the next video's a vicious truth bomb.
Why don't older single women marry post-00s guys? Many older single women actually want to date post-00s guys. They see 30-year-old men marrying post-00s girls. And they think, if they can't find a rich guy, At least they can find a handsome one, right? But they find that post-00s guys don't even give them a glance. They think about TV dramas, always showing domineering CEOs falling for older single women, or young puppy love guys chasing divorced moms. Why is the reality so different? Let's analyze it. When older men pursue younger girls, they spend money and pamper them. But older women in age gap relationships? Not only do they not spend money on the younger guys, they expect the guys to pamper them. And some even hope the guys will pay for them. For post-00s guys, a woman in her 30s with a house and car who's willing to spend on them is a sister. But if she's low-paid and bad-tempered, sorry, she's just an auntie.
And this clip, a woman compares older single women to overpriced houses, high cost, no buyers, saying even decent ones struggle because men with options are gone. Men, you've met these types, nice on paper but demanding a perfect match while offering nothing but complaints. Why waste your life on someone who sees you as a cheap consolation prize? Think that's harsh? The next clip's a delusional fantasy.
The essence of the gender divide is at the bottom tier. Wants rights without responsibilities. Only chasing benefits. All being refined egoists. Why is society so hostile now? There's an old saying, poverty breeds cunning, wealth fosters conscience. The marriage market is the same. Men and women with few bargaining chips. Look down on each other. Women complain men are poor and stingy. Men complain women are old and unattractive. Let's analyze rationally. It's basic logic. Men with average financial conditions simply can't afford to give much. They're also more afraid of investing without results because dating is exhausting. A meal costs a few hundred. A surprise gift costs thousands. A trip costs tens of thousands. Older women feel even more resentful. They don't want to settle because if they were willing to settle, they'd already be married. Even if they've now lowered their standards, it's hard to find the person they want. Look at the wealthy and well-off. How many of them are caught up in gender wars? Top-tier families form powerful alliances. Middle-class families cooperate for mutual gain. Ordinary families just hurt each other.
In this clip, a guy tears into the gender divide, slamming women who demand benefits without responsibilities, calling them selfish egoists who exploit average men. Men, you've felt this burn. Women expect you to fund their lives while they shirk every duty. Why play a rigged game where you're always the loser? Think that's raw? The next clip's a sobering reality check.
My name is Susie Chiang, 32 years old. Single and unmarried. Many people ask me what my conditions for marriage are. Some say I can't find a partner because I've set unreasonable demands. But I don't think I've asked for anything excessive. What I'm looking for. First, in terms of education. Since I'm decent myself, I don't place too much emphasis on this. I think a bachelor's degree is fine, even if he doesn't have one. If he has a special skill, is smart and open to new things, I could accept that. In terms of finances, I own a house, a shop, 7-figure savings, and a 6-figure insurance policy. For the other party, I only require that he owns a house. Even if it has a small mortgage, that's okay. As for his family, I have no demands, as long as his parents are easy to get along with. For height, since I'm just over 1.63 meters, as long as he's not shorter than me when I wear heels, a net height of 1.7 meters is fine. Also, someone I can talk to, with a sunny personality, and a sense of responsibility. Everyone, take a look. Are my requirements really too high?
In this clip, a 32-year-old woman lists her modest marriage standards, a house, decent height, good personality, yet still can't find a match. Men, you've met these fakes, claiming reasonable demands but expecting you to check every box while they offer zilch. Why commit to someone who thinks love means you owe them a perfect life? Ready for a savage roast? The next video's Relentless. You earn $3,000 a month, and call yourself an independent woman. Your boyfriend earns $5,000 a month, and you say it lowers your quality of life. When you ask for a dowry, you say, "That's just our custom." When your boyfriend asks about your dowry, you say, "I'm marrying you, what more do you want?" You listening to your parents is called filial piety. Your boyfriend listening to his parents is called being a mama's boy. You spend $1,000 on makeup and call it self-investment. Your boyfriend spends $300 on a keyboard and you say it's a waste. You're 1.5 meters tall and call yourself a cute Lolita. Your boyfriend is 1.7 meters, and you call him a level 3 cripple. You binge-watch idol dramas and call it relaxing. Your boyfriend plays games, and you say he has no ambition. You use a 70 yuan eyebrow pencil and call yourself a refined girl. Your boyfriend gives you a 30,000 yuan gift, and you call him a broke loser. You have a male best friend and call it pure friendship. Your boyfriend glances at a beauty on the street and you call it emotional cheating. You throw a tantrum and say it's a lack of security. Your boyfriend is in a bad mood and you call him emotionally unstable. You don't want to marry and call yourself a modern independent woman. Your boyfriend doesn't want to marry, and you call him a sleazy freeloader. The so-called female independence today is just refined egoism. They've built a perfect double-standard logic, wanting the security of traditional marriage, while demanding the rights of modern love, expecting men to bear all responsibilities, while refusing to fulfill any obligations. The so-called gender equality is just moral blackmail to justify their greed. But the reality is, no matter how shamelessly you demand, it can't hide your lack of value. In the end, you're just living in a dream you've woven, deliriously hyping yourself up. Society is rebalancing. No one can take advantage forever. In this clip, a guy mocks women's double standards, calling their spending self-care, but slamming men's as wasteful. Among other hypocrisies from idol dramas to emotional cheating. Men, you've been stung by this nonsense. Your efforts are lazy, but hers are empowering. Why tolerate a con artist who twists every move you make into a flaw? Hopes fading. The next clip's a bizarre blind date.
Hello, everyone. I'm Luo Xiaowei. So, today I'm here for a blind date. My standards for a partner. For age. Around 52 years old. Not too old. Because I'm afraid of a generation gap. For personality. He should be gentle. But still assertive when needed. For looks. Not too ugly. Just pleasing to the eye. And most importantly, he should provide emotional value. Looking forward to your replies.
In this clip, a woman shares her blind date standards, around 52 years old, gentle but assertive when needed, and emotionally supportive. Men, you've met these types, demanding a custom-built partner while offering vague promises of value. Why jump through hoops for someone who's already scripting your role? Think that's odd? The next clip's a career crash.
I was born in 92. Single and unmarried. I don't know if calling myself a high-quality older single woman will get me scolded. I studied full-time in engineering. Climbed from a 3,000 yuan monthly salary to a 200,000 yuan annual salary. Spending 9 years of my youth. I always thought that working hard to earn money, being diligent and honest at my job, becoming someone who doesn't rely on others, not casually dating bad people, not messing around with relationships, not taking shortcuts, working hard to make money, reading, exercising, improving my mindset, and upholding good values was something worthy of praise and recognition. I thought it would give me an edge in the marriage market, and that it was a sign of excellence. But when I reached my 30s, I realized that everything I thought was excellent wasn't even an option on men's partner evaluation lists. In other words, Men don't care about these things. They only care about age. Even those 20-something girls with nothing. Doing nothing. Or even racking up debt. Will outshine us hard-working older single women. Because they're young. No matter what. They're young. Reality is that cruel. When I saw the internet flooded with 30-something women with houses and cars labeled as high-quality older single women, I thought I was the only worthless scrap in that group. Then I saw my own 30-something age, surrounded by 20-something girls everywhere. And I felt completely hopeless. It felt like my world was collapsing. I'm 33 now. When I see online stories of women in their late 30s or 40s who still haven't married, it's like seeing myself in 3 or 5 years. I'm terrified. I'm scared. Seeing myself lose that youthful girlish charm. Being judged for my age. And having fewer and fewer periods. With age, all these things hit me head on. Any one of these is a heavy blow to entering marriage. So, I advise those of you at marriageable age, don't be too proud. And don't focus too much on money or career. In your youthful years, you must seize the chance to find a partner. Because there might be more potential matches then.
In this clip, a 32-year-old woman laments that her hard-earned career and savings mean nothing to men who only care about youth. Men, you've seen this bait and switch. She builds a life, then expects you to value it when her priorities never included you. Why buy into a deal where your worth is her afterthought? The next clip's a fiery wake-up call.
In the future, many girls will definitely not get married. Don't laugh, you might not either. Why? Really? Don't rush to bash me. What I'm saying today will 100% offend a lot of girls. But I have to tell the truth. Don't naively think that only guys can't find wives now. Let me tell you. In reality, many girls can't find husbands. Because in today's society, there are more men than women. Some people think, I'm excellent. I'll take my time to choose. When I'm ready, I'll wave my hand. And a ton of men will line up to marry me. Sisters, you're too naive. Many girls, when dating, always demand that guys have a car, a house, and savings. At your age, do you have those yourself? Why do you expect others to have them? With those demands, you've already ruled out 55% of guys. Let me tell you, the remaining 45% of men. What are the requirements for a partner? They also want girls with looks, a good figure, education, who can shine in social settings, cook in the kitchen, earn money, and be filial to their parents. Can you do that? So, sisters, look in the mirror. See if you meet those conditions. And some girls, earning just $2,000 or $3,000 a month, always complain that guys only earn $7,000 or $8,000. They don't earn a cent themselves. Expect men to pay for everything. Are total freeloaders. Even ask their parents for money. And still fantasize about finding a well-off guy. On what grounds? Just your face. That's some confidence. When you're not outstanding, how could outstanding men notice you? Well, you're choosing others. Others are choosing you too. I think love is always mutual. If you want something the other can't give, they won't even look at you. This is why we keep seeing leftover men and women. And some guys know what they're like. They have nothing. The girls have nothing. And they look down on each other. So they both end up single. So, today, Sister Shah is saying this. For the happiness of girls. I sincerely advise everyone. Don't rely on your bit of beauty to squander your youth. And don't pin your future dreams on a man's house, car, or savings. Because I'm a woman too. And I've always been working hard. Why do I work so hard? Because I hope my future husband can enjoy my house, my car. And I won't need to covet his things. We can strive together, work for our family, and ease his burdens. I think men today are pitiful. Don't put all the pressure on men. Men are human too. They need love too. Why should men be the only ones earning money? Women can earn too. So, girls, let's be clear-headed. Demand more of ourselves. And less of men. The world will treat you kindly. And you'll meet good men. Dear friends. What do you think of Sister Shah's views today? Welcome to leave your comments.
In this clip, a woman warns that many girls will stay single, urging them to lower standards and work harder since men won't marry. Freeloaders. Men, you're not their ATM or fairy tale fix. Her demands for your house and car come with no reciprocation. Why carry someone who thinks you owe her your life? Think that's bold? The next clip's a war cry.
World War III might be on the brink. China has increased tariffs on the US by 84%. Who knows, maybe one day it'll really kick off. I strongly suggest sending women to the front lines. Some women always say men are useless. Can't afford cars. Can't afford houses. Can't afford dowries. Now's the time for you to go to the front lines to defend the country. Let me tell you a fact. Without men on the front lines, women would be the most miserable. Throughout history, when wars break out, it's either looting gold and treasures or women. You keep bashing men every day. Without men, you're nothing.
In this clip, a guy rants that women should fight in wars since they complain men can't afford houses or dowries, claiming they'd be nothing without men's protection. Men, you've heard this garbage. Women belittle your grind, then expect you to shield them. Why sacrifice for someone who spits in your face? Ready for a grim reality? The next clip's a bitter pill.
Older single women, in the eyes of men, always carry some negative labels. Old, hard to get along with, demanding, bad-tempered, like outdated equipment that might break down, lose power or water at any moment. After I posted a video about how older single women's quality of life in old age will surpass that of older single men, it sparked a lot of discussion among male netizens. They summarized 3 characteristics of older single women and see these as the main reasons why they remain single. First, they think older single women are greedy. As they age, their skin sags, wrinkles increase, but their demands for a partner only grow. After all, men prefer 18-year-olds with no makeup and faces full of collagen. In men's eyes, older single women lack clear self-awareness. When looking for a partner, they always want everything, even using the wealthy, handsome men they met at their 20-year-old peak as their standard, holding unrealistic fantasies about themselves, while being extremely practical about men. Second, older single women care too much about face. They have strong self-esteem and refuse to settle. In their view, even if older single women meet slightly less impressive men, they'll give up because they're worried about gossip or mockery from friends. After all, others might think, you've been single so long, and you ended up with such an ordinary guy. So, older single women would rather stay single than enter an ordinary marriage. Lastly, men think older single women lack tolerance and are too self-centered. They can't tolerate any flaws, having zero patience for a partner's shortcomings. In contrast, young average girls on blind dates focus more on a man's strengths, while older single women fixate on his flaws. In their eyes, these are key reasons why older single women stay single. But in my opinion, men deeply misunderstand older single women. They just don't want to settle. Once they enter marriage, most of them will live earnestly. The main reason they haven't married is that they haven't met the right person. They don't want to rush into marriage and then face the risk of divorce. This reflects their caution and respect for marriage. older single women.
In this clip, a woman lists reasons older single women stay single: greed, pride, and pickiness, while defending their caution. Men, you've met these women, demanding the world but offering excuses, then crying foul when you pass. Why settle for someone who's already checked out emotionally? Think that's tragic? The next clip's a horror show.
Have they given up? Or are they just too exhausted to keep striving? You think they're actively embracing loneliness? Well, they've been slapped by the times straight into a nursing home. I just saw some news. Women born in the 80s are already moving into nursing homes. Let's take a look at the confessions of these older goddesses. Every word drips with pain. Every sentence pierces the myth of the modern independent woman. First, a 40-year-old woman. When she was young, she shouted about never marrying or having kids, always saying men were worse than dogs. After her parents passed away, in the dead of night, touching her sagging, atrophied womb, that she was once proud of, she sobbed uncontrollably. When her only valuable asset became worthless, the mahjong table in the nursing home was warmer and livelier than her double bed at home. The so-called independent woman couldn't even afford a cemetery plot, becoming a reserve soldier for solitary death in social news. Second, a 34-year-old. Her medical records are thicker than her savings. Thyroid nodules, breast hyperplasia, ovarian cysts. These illnesses should be renamed social castration complications. When the 996 work culture and marriage and childbearing KPIs all pile onto one person, hospital reports become the work injury certificates of modern only child women. Third, a 38-year-old. When she was young, she thought she'd find a better dowry. Now, still crying in her rental apartment, if she died, no one would even collect her body. Sudden death would be performance art. The delivery guy knows her meal times better than her own mother. This kind of freedom is like throwing a wild party in a morgue. Thee belongs to others. Even her breathing is muted. Fourth, a 35-year-old. Offering a house and car, but no one wants her. The love market is harsher than the pork market. She once used high dowry demands as motivation. Now she's practically giving it all away in a clearance sale. The marriage market has long labeled older women as 2007 expired goods. Men earning $8,000 a month dare to pick and choose with her. This isn't finding a partner. It's scavenging rotten cabbage leaves at the market. Older women just don't want to admit it. For men, 30 or 40-something with a car and house is worth less than a vibrant, fertile 20-something with nothing. The cruel truth is, a woman's age and reproductive value have a shelf life. This unique female privilege. If you don't use it wisely at the right age, sorry, it expires. Fifth, she priced her education and status clearly, only to find men don't care about her price tag. When a 580,000 yuan dowry becomes a 390,000 yuan direct sales certificate, she realized that so-called self-improvement in the marriage market is like repackaging expired canned goods. While capitalism poisons you, it's also taught men that investing in young bodies yields higher returns than taking on middle-aged elites. Nursing homes aren't the final stop for older women. They're a demon-revealing mirror. Think you can hide in a nursing home and live out your days safely? Look at billionaire Li Chunping, worth $7 billion, drained by his nanny, crying in the cold outside in winter. An elderly man in Shanghai brought $4 million to a nursing home, but it became a death warrant. He was gone in 3 months. There are no feel-good stories here, only brutal survival rules. The caregiver's sneers and slaps are harsher and more violent than an ex. The spittoon by the next bed is more loyal than a blind date. That's standard in nursing homes. Don't even talk about growing old with your sisters. Women are plastic flowers. Your best friend might be in the ICU, unable to afford surgery. Even if you hire 10 caregivers or nannies, They'll steal your savings faster than you can write your will. This society's punishment for single feminists isn't moral judgment. It's when you have a heart attack at midnight, or slip and fall in the bathroom, unable to even call 120. You're socially dead. This isn't fear-mongering. It's sulfuric acid poured on those living in the pink bubble of short videos. You can choose not to marry, but you must think clearly. When menopause meets nursing home bullying, when menopause meets caregivers' manipulation, will your pension be enough to buy a dignified death? Doesn't it make you think deeply, family?
In this clip, a woman paints older single women as broken wrecks, doomed to nursing homes after betting on independence and losing. Men, you've seen these types, shouting, freedom, but expecting you to save them when their plan flops. Why be their fallback when they burn every bridge? Guys, what's your take? Drop a comment and let's keep this fire going.